Take 4. Hi, I'm Ron Paulk, and I have a brand new tool to show you today. Hans over at TSO Products contacted me and said he wanted to send me a GRS16 to try out. It's a square for a track. Now, a track like the Fest tool, which it's designed for, but it'll also work on any of the tracks that are exact copies of the Fest tool, like the Makita and the Triton. Pay close attention. This is a very precision, complicated tool, very difficult to use. You've got to use it right. What you have to do is slide this mount into your track and then clamp it with this very strong stainless steel clamp. And that's it. There's no adjustments. There's no way to put it on out of square. So it's either nuts on accurate or it's not worth having. So let's take a look and see. So I got a nice piece of 18mm plywood, already with a cut in it. And I could use this on my other tracks as well. I just grabbed the medium-sized track or actually my short track, because it will cut this piece of wood no problem. That looks pretty good. And according to the framer square, that's perfect. But let's give it the hard test. Let's cut it all the way around and then square tape it. All right, so I've cut all 4 edges with only the guidance of the GRS16, and let's see how it did. .22 3/4, right on. .22 3/4, right on. Absolutely perfect square. And again, no adjustments, so you can't put this thing on wrong. It does have the added advantage, they've thought it through and they've notched the bottom out here, and that is to allow a clamp if you're one who likes to clamp your tracks. Now, I never do that, but I'll show you how it works. So if you were to use a clamp, you would slide it into that same track and then clamp it to your board, clamp it down, and you'd clamp both ends typically to a mark. But with this, you can slide the clamp on first and then slide on the square, and it'll slide down the track. So if I were using a longer track but I didn't want to use the whole thing, I could slide it further along. And so you can see that this fits right up in that notch. So now, I'll flip it upside down so you can see how it clamps. So now you can push it up square and then put your clamp on and just clamp the one side. It would eliminate the need for the second clamp that you normally would have to use if you do like to clamp your tracks. Now again, I don't use a clamp, so that's not a big deal for me, but when I'm routing, I actually do use my clamps with my tracks. So I could see if I'm squaring with my router and using this, then that would be real handy. They also sent me the GRS16PE. Now, it took me a bit to figure this out because it pretty much does the same thing, except it's got a little bit different shape. It goes on the same way, but this one you can use on the far end of the track. So in a case where I would be using this one, if I put it on the far end, then I don't have this long edge, I have this short edge. And I would say that this is the one that I would purchase. This is pretty much all I would need. But if I were in a situation where I wanted to clamp the far edge or put the guide on the far edge, and pull the clamp square this way, and I could see that with longer tracks, if I were cutting wider plywood, that might be handy to pull it back in tight and hold it back that way rather than pushing against it. All the edges are eased over. They're made out of a 6061 T6 aluminum. They're US made, CNC machined, and the clamp is all stainless steel. So this is not some cheap knockoff that's gonna be wobbly and lose its precision in a short period of time. If you do like these tool videos, be sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring that bell so you know when I drop a new video. And if you want one of the plans for my total station, the awesome rolling toolbox, or the Paulk workbench, you can click on the link right here in the video. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Have a great day.